Good afternoon. This meeting of the SERS Board of Directors is now being recorded for record-keeping purposes. By participating in the session, you're consenting to the recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. This meeting is now being live-streamed. Thank you.
Thank you. This regular meeting of the State Employees Retirement Board will now come to order this 28th day of April, approximately 2:37 p.m. I think most of you have received a email from Katie Matthews that explained that today is a Universal Workers Memorial Day. I think it should be, if anybody knows this, I'd like to educate the board and the staff. We represent over 10,000 members at PennDOT, and as most folks think of PennDOT as plowing snow, which is a significant operation they do on all those interstates and all those roads, but also maintaining those roads. There is, since 1970, 90 PennDOT workers have been killed on the highways. These are folks that, as you do in the morning, they kiss their families goodbye, say see you later, and they never come home. It's one of the most dangerous jobs that we have, that we represent. And to put it in context, just imagine most folks here work at a desk. If you had your desk on a highway that was coned off, but cars and trucks are going by you at 80 miles an hour, and try to concentrate and do your job is a very, very difficult thing. So it's significant that Workers' Memorial Day is always on April 28th. PennDOT, actually, to their credit, has a memorial along Front Street in Harrisburg. In fact, I have a symbol of it right here, a replica of it, and it's in recognition of those 90-plus folks that have lost their lives. And just to put it again in context, just Monday in Luzerne County, one of our members, a PennDOT employee, Tom Vitale, was jackhammering along the interstate highway, and he was struck by an oversized loaded truck. It's a truck that this load is over its sides. He suffered a broken pelvis and a broken back, along with other injuries. He is going to be out of commission for a very long period of time. Thankfully, he's still with us. But also today, it's more significant to recognize the slowing down in the work zones that is so important to all our sisters and brothers that work at PennDOT and in the municipalities as well. So we don't want to ever see another person lose their life when it's out there. So thank you for that moment. Can we now have a roll call of the board members?
Certainly. Mr. Becker?
Here.
Senator DeSanto?
Present.
Chair Philman?
Here.
Representative Frankel?
Here.
Treasurer Garrity?
Here.
Senator Hughes? Or Ms. Marchowski on behalf of Senator Hughes?
Here.
Mr. Jordan?
Here.
Representative Schemmel?
Here.
Ms. Soderberg?
Here.
Mr. Thal?
Here.
Secretary Big?
Here.
Thank you. All are present, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Now a motion is in order to adopt the agenda for the April 28th, 2021 board meeting. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I hear a motion. Do I hear a second? I hear a second. Anyone a question? Hearing none. All in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We now need approval of the consent calendar. A motion is in order to approve the consent calendar items as listed for the April 28th, 2021 board meeting. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I hear a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone with a question? Hearing none. All in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no? Motion carried. Thank you very much. We will now go into item number 5 on the agenda, committee reports, action items. Chairman Soderberg, you're up.
Thank you, sir. The Finance and Member Services Committee met this morning at 9:05 on April 28th. The central portion of our our business was the special presentation by the Korn Ferry actuary, who presented the key 2020 actuary evaluation results and the fiscal year 21-22 certification of defined benefit plan employer contribution rates. They identified significant changes in their assumptions that make up the result of their 5-year experience study, and these include increase from 7.125% to 7%, and that is consistent with what the board voted for last year. The assumed inflation rate was decreased from 2.6% to 2.5%. The assumed rate of participant mortality was updated to more closely match the experience of SERS and other public sector retirement systems. And the assumed rate of future salary increases were decreased to more closely match the experience of SERS. They also noted the impact of the recent contribution by Penn State, the advance payment for their unfunded liability. We had discussed some of the next steps to be taken, which will include a discussion of the assumed rate of return at our next committee meeting, which will be on June 8th. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to offer a motion.
Go ahead.
Okay. I move that the State Employees Retirement Board accept the recommendation of the Finance and Member Services Committee to A, approve the results of the December 31, 2020 actuarial valuation, and for the Commonwealth fiscal year 2021-2022, certify the following contribution rates. 1, shared risk contribution rate of 0%. 2, employer normal cost contribution rate of 1.5%. 3, composite employer contribution rate necessary for the funding of the system of 33.76%, and valuation as calculated by SERS actuary, Korn Ferry, and 4, employer contribution rates by group and class of service of employees as set forth in the actuarial valuation as calculated by SERS Consulting Actuary, Korn Ferry, pursuant to Section 5508 of the State Employees Retirement Code. B, authorize SERS staff and Korn Ferry to use such rates to develop all employer rates for the period of July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022, pursuant to Section 5902K of the State Employees Retirement Code. C, establish an employer contribution rate of 0.05% for the fiscal year 2021 to 2022 to fund the benefits completion plan established pursuant to Section 5941 of the State Employees Retirement Code. And D, authorize SERS Executive Director to certify such rates to all employers with employees who are active members of SERS and to the Secretary of the Budget. That is the motion.
It's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Okay. Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSanto?
Aye.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes?
Aye.
Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg?
Aye.
Mr. Thal?
Aye.
And Secretary Vig?
Aye.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Is there any more report, Mary?
Only to add that our next meeting will be on June 8th, the time to be specified later in the month, and the meeting was then adjourned at 9:54 a.m. That concludes my report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to the investment report. Chairman Becker.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. The investment committee met this morning. It started around 10 o'clock. We had a very brief performance update by our CIO, and then a fixed income transition update by Bill Trong, and an update on the most recent rebalancing by Jim Nolan. In addition to that, we have 4 items that we would like to bring, 4 recommendations that we would like to bring to the board, if I may proceed with that.
Go ahead.
The first is a private equity opportunity with an existing manager, Providence Strategic Growth. They are a top quartile manager. They focus on minority and control investments in software and tech-enabled services. And we had, I'd like to, let me read the motion. I'd move that the State Employees Retirement Board accept the recommendation of the investment committee to commit up to $50 million to PSG 5 LP plus investment expenses and pro rata share of partnership operating expenses consistent with the executed partnership documents as a follow-on investment within the private equity asset class, subject to successful completion of contract negotiations and execution and delivery of closing documents by all parties, including required legal approvals within 12 months.
It's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSanto?
Aye.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Abstain.
Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes? Aye. Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg?
Aye.
Mr. Thal?
Aye.
Secretary Vague?
Aye.
10 ayes and 1 abstention, Chairman.
Okay,
Thank
you. The second recommendation is part of the...
Hold on. We have a question?
Okay.
Yes, Senator DeSanto here. I want to change my vote to no. I thought we were on the other motion. That was my mistake.
So noted.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Okay, we ready to go? So as part of the fixed income transition was the addition of actively managed long credit mandates. And to accomplish this in the most efficient manner, we are proposing that enhanced authority be given to the Chief Investment Officer in selecting the managers. So let me read that motion. And I move that the board accept the recommendation of the investment committee to delegate authority to the Chief Investment Officer to hire actively managed long credit mandates to increase efficiencies in the implementation of the enhanced fixed income structure through the following process. The Chief Investment Officer and the board's general investment consultant will provide recommendation memos via email to the investment committee, which detail the rationale to hire the actively managed long credit mandates. 2, investment committee members will have 2 weeks from the timestamp on the sent email to review the recommendation. 3, if investment committee members are comfortable with the hire and there are no objections during the 2-week period, SIRS will proceed with hiring the actively managed long credit mandates. And 4, if any investment committee member objects, SIRS will postpone the hiring process and provide the recommendation at the next committee meeting for a formal vote.
It's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone on the question? Anyone on the question? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSanto?
Aye.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Aye.
Senator Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes? Aye. Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg,
Aye.
Mr. Thal,
Aye.
Secretary Vague.
Aye.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. The next recommendation, we recommend the retention of Abel Noser as the investment transaction cost analysis consultant. The motion is, I move that the board accept the recommendation of the investment committee to authorize the retention of Abel Noser as its investment transaction cost analysis consultant under a new consulting agreement subject to successful completion of contract negotiations prior to the expiration of the current agreement between SERS and Abel Noser.
It's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I hear a second. Anyone in the question? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Becker,
Aye.
Senator DeSanto,
Aye.
Chair Philman,
Aye.
Representative Frankel,
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity,
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski on behalf of Senator Hughes,
Aye.
Mr. Jordan,
Aye.
Representative Schemmel,
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg, Ms. Soderberg,
Aye.
thank you, Mr. Thal,
Aye.
and Secretary Vague.
Aye.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. And the fourth recommendation requires just a little bit of explanation. But at the meeting this morning, the investment office presented a package of asset allocation and investment policy statement changes for the committee and board consideration. It was passed as a package, but several board members or designees expressed a desire to vote on the private equity and the microcap changes separately. We passed it as a package, but there was several members of the board of the committee that asked that we consider these items as separate motions at the board meeting. So we did agree to do that, and so we have split it into three motions, and we'll vote on them separately. So the first motion is on the micro cap strategy, and I move that the State Employees Retirement Board approve a new 2% target allocation to a U.S. microcap strategy within the U.S. equity asset class with a corresponding reduction to the private equity asset class target allocation to 12%.
It's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Becker,
Aye.
Senator DeSanto,
Aye.
Chair Philman,
Aye.
Representative Frankel,
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity,
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski on behalf of Senator Hughes,
Aye.
Mr. Jordan,
Aye.
Representative Schemmel,
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg,
Aye.
Mr. Thal,
Aye.
Secretary Vague.
Aye.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. So the second recommendation was with regard to U.S. covered call strategy. So I move that the State Employees Retirement Board approve a new 3% target allocation to a U.S. covered call strategy within the U.S. equity asset class with a corresponding reduction to the U.S. large mid-cap strategy target allocation to 18%.
It's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Becker,
Aye.
Senator DeSanto,
No.
Chair Philman,
Aye.
Representative Frankel,
No.
Treasurer Garrity,
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski on behalf of Senator Hughes,
No.
Mr. Jordan,
No.
Representative Schemmel,
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg,
Aye.
Mr. Thal,
Aye.
Secretary Vague.
Aye.
I have 6 ayes and 5 nays, Chairman.
Okay, well, the motion passes. And thank you. And that, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
No, Glenn, excuse me, this is Joe Marcucci.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to read the third motion.
Yes, it's the third motion to accept the conforming changes. And Terry, what's the count? 5 noes there? I apologize for asking.
I have six ayes and 5 nays.
Okay.
I had 7 and 4, Joe.
I had 7 and 4.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had 7 and 4 as well.
Okay, I apologize. I have my tick marks as I'm calling them out and writing my little tick marks. Thank you so much for correcting. It's a passage in 7-4. You said?
Yes.
Okay, so it does pass 7-4. So let me read the motion that was passed this morning that encompasses both strategies, both the micro cap as well as the covered call, and then also the changes to the IPS. So I move that the board accept the recommendation of the investment committee to approve the following enhancements to the defined benefit plans investment policy statement. A, enhanced U.S. equity structure section 20, page 32, and B, updated policy target asset allocation percentages, estimated risk percentages, and liquidity levels, section 21, page 39, section 23, page 41, and section 24, page 42. The revised sections are in the attached meeting material entitled Public Equity Manager Structure Analysis, Defined Benefit Plan IPS, with a PDF dated 4/28/2021.
Properly moved. I hear a second.
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone with a question? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSanto?
Aye.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes?
Aye.
Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg?
Aye.
Mr. Thal?
Aye.
Secretary Begg?
Aye.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, our meeting concluded at 11:40, and that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Becker. I'll now give the Board Governance and Personnel Committee report.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I had a question. My hand was up there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Senator.
No problem. So, just to clarify, the minutes and board docs that were sent yesterday are not accurate in the order that we went in because we changed those. Are we going to get new meeting minutes, or am I confused on that? When we broke those motions into 3 different motions.
I see.
The minutes.
Go ahead, Terry.
The minutes will reflect what actually happened at the board meeting? Is that your question, Senator DeSanto?
Yeah, once I'm on board docs, reviewing board docs, and these meeting minutes that are listed there, they're not actually correct, are they? Because we broke it into 3 motions.
The minutes or the report? Do you mean the report from the committee report?
Yes.
Okay, let me get there real quickly. If they are not accurate, I
was just flipping back and forth. It didn't seem. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I don't know if they need amended because I was losing my place.
Well, the report would have reflected what happened, and again, anyone can just jump in to correct me, but the report would have reflected what occurred at the committee meeting, and then the board minutes will reflect what actually happened at this board meeting.
Okay. All right.
If they need to be amended, we can certainly have that discussion and make sure that they're amended if they are incorrect. But they would reflect what actually happened at. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And keep in mind that the next meeting, those minutes will be approved, so they can be amended then as well if it doesn't fit the board's pleasure.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Again, the Board Governance and Personnel Committee met today, April 28th, 1:10 p.m. scheduled, 1:12 actual, right here. The board committee, the Board Governance and Personnel Committee was in full attendance with either the board member or a designee. The premise of the board was, or the meeting, was basically the SERS fiduciary review and self-assessment. Representatives of Funston Advisory Services, Randall Miller, Rick Funston, John Lukumic, and Lisa Morris and William Fournier gave a presentation of the SERS fiduciary review and board self-assessment final report, which included reports and recommendations in the following areas: a fiduciary and governance review of the board's performance of its duties in the following 4 task areas. They're listed: a self-assessment of the board in 10 areas of governance. Following discussion, the committee took action to recommend to the State Employees Retirement Board, State Employees Retirement Board 2, accept Funston Advisory Services LLC's SERS Fiduciary Review and Self-Assessment Final Report dated April 19th, excuse me, 2021, and direct staff to engage with the appropriate standing committees to A, review the final report's recommendations, and B, make recommendations to the board for action as appropriate. The vote was taken on the motion. It was unanimous. So with that, I move that the State Employees Retirement Board accept the recommendation of the Board Governance and Personnel Committee to, 1, accept Funston Advisory Services LLC's SERS Fiduciary Review and Self-Assessment Final Report dated April 19th, 2021 as set forth in the attachment, and 2, direct staff to engage with the appropriate standing committees to A, review the final report's recommendations, and B, make recommendations to the board for action as appropriate. It's been moved. I hear a second.
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone with a question? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSantis?
No.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes?
Aye.
Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg?
Aye.
Mr. Thal?
Aye.
Secretary Vague?
Aye.
11 ayes and 1 nay.
Thank you very much. Also in the meeting, Secretary Vague inquired as to the executive director search process and was advised that this topic is being addressed at the following board meeting today in executive session. The secretary also asked that the committee review employee scheduling flexibility. With that, we also have a bit of business, and Chris Houston on the bylaws for the board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, before we go to there, Terry, I believe the count was 10 and 1.
What did I say?
11 and 1.
I am so sorry. Yeah. Of course, there are only 11 members. There was 1 no. 10 and 1. Thank you, Joe. Okay.
All right, my apologies for putting in.
Somebody needs to check my math. I'm sorry, I'm a bit off here today, so my apologies. Passes with 1 no vote. That makes it a lot easier.
Thank you. Chris?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. So included under the report materials from the committee, you'll find a memorandum from me to the board regarding amendment to board bylaws. At the February meeting of the Board Governance and Personnel Committee, they passed a motion to recommend to the board to adopt an amendment to the bylaws. It's a technical correction to section 1.1 of the board bylaws, which pertains to the board composition for the 5 members of the board. that are active members. That we added language that they're either active members of the system or, and this is a new language, active members in the plan. So that's to make it consistent with the requirements of the State Employees Retirement Code. We gave notice in accordance with the bylaws to the members of the board. There's a requirement to provide 15 days advance written notice to the board before any amendments to bylaws are presented to the board for their consideration. And amendments to bylaws do require a 2/3 vote of the members present at a meeting. So that's before the board as well, and you also have the actual amendment of the bylaws in your board materials.
Okay, with that, I move that the State Employees Retirement Board accept the recommendation of the Board Governance Personnel Committee to amend Section 1.1 of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania State Employees Retirement System bylaws as set forth in the attachment. Has been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Anyone on the question? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Okay. I'll try to get the count right on this, I promise. Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSanto?
Aye.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Aye.
Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes?
Aye.
Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg?
Aye.
Mr. Thal?
Aye.
Secretary Vague?
Aye.
That would be 11 ayes and 0 nays for a unanimous vote.
Thank you, Terry. That concludes my report. Back on the agenda. Old business, we have none. New business, there is none. There are no special presentations. Under reports of staff, executive director and agency staff, we only have the executive director. So Terry Sanchez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. Very brief administrative update this time. Happy to announce that SIRS and our communications team has received a 2020 Marcom Gold Award for Excellence in Marketing and Communications from the Association of Marketing and Communications Professionals for our Deferred Compensation Plan Active Choice handout, which we updated in 2020 to feature a more straightforward message and streamlined layout. The Marcom Awards honor excellence in marketing in communications while recognizing creativity, hard work, and generosity of industry professionals. And since its inception in 2004, it's evolved into one of the largest, most respected creative competitions in the world. And each year, about 6,000 print and digital entries are submitted from dozens of countries. And AMCP, which administers the Marcom Awards, is an international organization founded in 1995 that consists of several thousand marketing, communication, advertising, public relations, digital, and web professionals. Our third-party administrator, Empower Retirement, entered the handout for consideration by a panel of the judges, and again, we received the Gold Award, and I have it here, put it on display, a very nice award. Much congratulations to our staff. It is a fantastic handout. It shows how if you, for example, if you take 25 per pay contribution, that it ends up being, for example, just a $19 reduction in pay. So it shows you the gross check, your biweekly, the taxable salary, and then it shows what that $25, how it can grow over 15 and 30 years. Very nice handout. So again, congratulations to our staff. Very much appreciated, and we're very proud of you.
The award looks like an Oscar.
It does very much so. Very nice. And I checked with legal, and we are allowed to accept this this award. There's no gift ban on that. And that is it for my administrative update, Chairman. I have a brief legislative update. Little movement in legislation impacting SIRS since the last time we met. There is a House Bill 71, and it gives us a little bit of concern, as it would amend the state constitution to limit total spending by the Commonwealth each year. That in and of itself, of course, is no concern. What is our concern is that it could potentially lead to a situation where the Commonwealth would be unable to make necessary employer contributions to the system because of the requirement to cap overall spending from the general fund. And then this, in turn, could lead to further underfunding of the system, as pension systems, our pension system in particular, could be forced to compete with other state agencies for funding. So we reached out to the House State Government Committee, and we did suggest how the issue could be easily resolved by exempting pension contributions from the caps established in the legislation, and then we offered to work with the bill sponsors to assist in drafting any proposed amendments. My second item for the legislative update, on the House State Government Committee, they held an informational hearing, and we were one of the agencies asked to make a presentation to members of that committee on regulatory and statutory changes and innovations due to COVID-19. We were happy to provide a brief overview of the many challenges that we faced and how our various departments work together to ensure the safety of the employees, ensure the continuity of our critical business functions, and to reassure the system's members and participants and the board that pension payments and retirement benefits would continue to be processed in a timely manner. We also made special note of CSR's board actions taken last spring implementing the CARES Act relief, expanding the delegation of authority to the CIO to allow swift action in the face of extreme market volatility, and authorizing a temporary benefit administration rule change, pausing the 95-day limit on the time CSR's retirees may work for agencies under their governor's jurisdiction without jeopardizing their monthly pensions. Following the hearing, we did get a very nice email from the chairman of the House State Government Committee reaching out to express appreciation for the overview and the details that we offered CSR's on CSR's COVID-19 related issues and how we overcame them. So it was very much appreciated on their end, and it was very much appreciated on our end. In addition, we continue to seek out and schedule meetings with key legislative leaders and their staff to discuss key topics and issues of concern and seek their input and support for action such as dedicated funding that the board has directed me to pursue. And that completes my legislative report, Chairman. Finally, you'll see a board adjudication result that we have won this time, and it is the result of notational ballot for one account, the account of Timothy G. Collins. The State Employees Retirement Board, the results of that adjudication is that the board has ordered that the record of this appeal be reopened until May 10th, 2021, to allow the Pennsylvania Office of Administration, the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections, and the Pennsylvania Department of Education an opportunity to intervene. And that concludes my report, Chairman.
Any questions for Terry? Hearing none, the next piece of the agenda is an executive session, and Joe Marcucci, would you set this up, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Sunshine Act allows an executive session for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is to discuss any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, evaluation of performance, promotion, or disciplining of any public employee or officer. Part of the executive session will consist of this type of discussion pertaining to the potential hiring of a chief compliance officer and the retirement of the executive director. Another permitted reason for an executive session is to receive and engage in confidential and privileged attorney-client communications and attorney work product, including but not limited to pending litigation. The remainder of the executive session will be involving these sorts of communications. These are all permitted under the Sunshine Act to be done in executive session.
Okay, we'll wait for the announcement and take it from there.
Before we enter executive session, please give us a minute to make a few technical changes on your behalf here in the boardroom. Once we've completed that, we'll make you aware that that has been done successfully. As a reminder, the public meeting will resume on this live stream connection when the executive session is complete. In addition, CSRS offers meeting notification updates via text messaging And for that information, please go to our website and look at our posted agenda. This meeting of the SERVE Board of Directors is now being recorded for record-keeping purposes. By participating in the session, you're consenting to the recording, retention, and future viewing. This meeting is now being live-streamed.
Okay, thank you very much, and welcome back, everybody. There's one bit of business that we have to accomplish, and that has to deal with the Chief Compliance Officer position. Motion is in order that the State Employees Retirement Board delegate to the Chief Counsel the authority to hire a Chief Compliance Officer, Attorney 4, from the pool of applicants who responded to the position posting with an opening date of February 1st, 2021 and closing date of February 26, 2021, subject to 1, Board Chairman approval of the candidate to be hired, 2, successful salary and start date negotiations, and 3, any other necessary approvals. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I hear a second.
Second.
Anyone on the question? Anyone on the question? Hearing none, I need a roll call vote.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Senator DeSanto?
Aye.
Chair Philman?
Aye.
Representative Frankel?
Aye.
Treasurer Garrity?
Aye.
Senator, Ms. Marchowski, on behalf of Senator Hughes?
This is Matt Lindsay. She had to step away, so I'll be on his behalf.
Thank you, Matt. Matt Lindsay? Is that a yay?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Jordan?
Aye.
Representative Schemmel?
Aye.
Ms. Soderberg?
Aye.
Mr. Thal?
Aye.
Secretary Vague?
Aye.
Unanimous, Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. The next piece, board comments, announcements, dates to remember. I do have to make the announcement that after 35 and a half years of service with PCERS and SERS, Terry Sanchez will be retiring on July the 2nd. It's been a great pleasure working with Terry, and I'm glad she'll be able to enjoy a well-earned retirement. We will do some more discussion about this as we go into our June meeting. But we do want to wish Terry the best. She is going to be hanging in there until July 2nd, and we will be continuing to work with her, and she will work with us to look for a successor as we go forward. So, Terry, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman. Appreciate it.
Okay, very well. With that, anybody else have any comments or announcements? Our next meeting of the State Employees Retirement Board is June 8th and 9th of 2021. With that, a motion is in order for adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
I hear a motion. I hear a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you very much, everybody. We're pretty good timing. We did a lot today, so thanks so much.